So she had a nice trip to Africa because the blood of Africa runs in her veins, and he needs more money to deal with those kids. And the world goes on with America spinning off its axis, being run off the rails by the Obama team. So here we are, sitting here watching the world go round. Oh, welcome to the Savage Nation, I should say. It is a radio show. It's not just one man's opinion. And I have a couple of questions for you. But before I lead with the questions, I will ask you this question. France has just granted asylum to Iraqi Christians. Socialist France, run by a real Frenchman, even though he's a socialist, he's a Frenchman born in France, said it is willing to grant asylum to Iraqi Christians in the face of a jihadist onslaught against them by the Muslims. The ISIS Muslim murderers are blowing up churches, forcing Christians to convert to Islam or killing them. And so France has said they will take them in, while our own State Department said we should take them in, but Obama overruled it. I mean, how many different things have to happen until you realize who he is? Okay, I made my main Obama point today. Here's a question for you. Will Israel exist in 10 years? I know it's a shocking question. You assume that they're winning this war, which on the face of it they are. They're winning the battle. I don't know that they're winning the war against radical Islam. With friends like us, I don't know that anyone can win this war against radical Islam. But that's a story for another day. Here's some good news out of Israel from Debka Review. Israeli Air Force takes out 40 mosques. Israeli Air Force blew up 40 mosques with new drones because they were rocket factories. They brought in a new drone into Gaza, and they're using a new Hermes 900 UAV known as the Star. It can fly at 30,000 feet. It performs surveillance, communication at high altitudes, carries a heavy weapons load. They know they were bomb factories. They blew them up. Air Force takes out 40 mosques, brings new drone into Gaza operations. So the Israelis know what they're facing. They're facing annihilation or survival. We are so stupid, we don't understand that the enemy within is annihilating us. We have no idea that the enemy within is out to annihilate us. But okay, I'll just keep doing my thing. 40 mosques. In total, at least 50 so-called mosques have been blown up along with their stockpiles of rockets and arms catchers. You see, to the Muslim, the mosque is used for, it's a multi-use facility. So not just what you think is it's a multi-use facility. It's very ecological. It can be used for prayer. It can be used for storing rockets. It can be used for launching rockets. It's not like a church in America or a synagogue. It's a multi-use facility. It's very ecological. So the Israelis said, well, we know they pray in the mosques, but they also stockpile rockets and arms, so we're going to blow them up. And that's what's going on. And the brand new Hermes 900 UAV is an unmanned drone known as the Star, never before used in wartime operations. The drone's debut in Israel was rushed forward because of its useful property, says Debka. Listen to this. This drone can fly nonstop for 30 hours at an altitude of 30,000 feet. It conducts surveillance, it gathers intelligence, it relays communications back and forth to military personnel in the field. And then when they determine, for example, that the mosque is really a rocket factory, a rocket storage facility, they have 300 kilograms of explosives in the drone's warhead. And the fact of the matter is it was developed entirely in Israel by Elbit Systems. Elbit Systems. Can you imagine if we had fought in Iraq and Afghanistan with these rules of engagement? Can you imagine the country we'd be living in if we could have actually beaten them in Afghanistan instead of having this one, have our boys run with their tails between their legs out of Iraq and see the worst scum on the planet take over the Sunni Triangle where they're killing Christians in a way that we've never seen since the Crusades? So that's what's going on in the world. Will Israel exist in 10 years? Now, why do I raise that question? I read a fascinating article last night that I was mulling over all evening, and it was written by a Russian who we tried to get on the show, but he lives in Israel. He speaks poor English. We couldn't find him. I think the guy's a stone